Ouch, was that a ghost?
Ouch, was that a ghost?
With Liss
and Lee.
Hi, Lee.
Hi, Liss.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good. I'm very tired because you had me eat chicken, broccoli, and ziti.
It's called chicken broccoli Alfredo.
Sorry.
Is that ziti or rigatoni?
I thought it was ziti.
The circles with the lines on it. So then what's
Isn't that ziti?
rigatoni?
Well, I ate pasta.
Ooh, you must be tired.
Yeah.
I know, me too. I had the same thing as you, so it's only expected that I'd feel the same.
True that. True that.
All right. So
This is not awkward at all.
no, not at all.
We're really good at this banter part.
We really got the hang of it.
Yeah, I agree.
We are totally comfy together. Our chemistry is like pew, pew.
Yes.
So what do you got for me today?
The story I have is Gef the Talking Mongoose, or the Dolby Spook.
Now, a mongoose is a type of ape, right?
No, it's like in between, like a weasel looking thing and...
Oh, wow, I am a dumb ass. Okay.
I think like a ferret weasel looking with the tail.
Why did I think it was an ape of some sort?
I have no idea.
Like, mongoose.
No?
Nope.
I
Okay.
don't think that's a mongoose.
Okay.
All right, so this story starts in the Isle of Man, which is located between England and Ireland. This is right after World War I, so the economy was not great. James Irving, the father, was a successful piano and organ salesman before the war, but now he wasn't really making money off of it because the economy was junk and people were spending money on like more necessities like food and shelter, you know. So he decided to change his life around and move out to a farm, a rural farm.
A rural.
Rural farm.
Rural.
The farm was very humble. It had no phone, no electricity, no running water. The other thing about the farm was it was very isolate. Isolate?
Like isolated?
Isolated.
Okay.
But that sounds better.
Isolated or isolate? Either
Yes.
one.
I don't think
Isolate
isolate.
you.
So the farm was very isolated. It didn't really have any roads that went to it. It was up on top of a hill. The closest neighbor was about a mile away. The farm was called Cashen Gap. I forgot to mention that.
Okay.
So-
Sounds like a Webkins game.
I love Webkins.
I re-downloaded it on my phone.
You did?
I'm obsessed with it.
I used to have the black cat with the chunky face, and he kind of looked like my cat, and that was my favorite character.
I don't think I ever had the black cat, but I had just about.
But
all
I'd
of them.
play Smoothie Moves. What's that?
Smoothie Moves.
Nice work, Smoothie Moves, and it would shoot like the fruit out.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
And then
I
the
loved
Tetris
Cash
game.
Cow. Cash
Oh,
Cow.
Cash Cow was good too.
Oh, it was my absolute favorite.
What do you do it on your laptop?
No, on my phone.
On your phone? You can
On
do
my phone,
Webkins?
yes.
Okay, well, I know what I'm doing tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So, in 1931, it was James Irving, Margaret, his wife, and his daughter, Voirrey. I think it's Voirrey. Voirrey.
Okay.
She was about 13 years old. In September, the family heard noises in the wall of the farmhouse. The farmhouse was like all stone. He put wood panelings like 4 or 5 inches away from the stone, so it left like a little space in the
Okay.
wall. But they started hearing like noises come from there. They started hearing like blowing, spitting, and scratching. So James assumed it was a rodent or an animal. So he used poison, then he set up traps, and nothing worked. So whether out of defeat or frustration, James just started growling at the wall one day. And the best part is the wall growled back.
What? Oh, no.
So dumbfounded, the family decided to start making different sounds, and the creature would repeat them back. The creature seemed to like Voirrey the best. The creature's understanding grew to the point where the family could name an animal and the creature would make that sound. Like if they said cat, the creature would meow. And if they said cow, the creature would.
Ooh.
Very good. So by 1932, the creature began to develop a vocabulary. Voirrey would sing nursery rhymes to the creature and the creature would repeat them back.
So they just like pretty much took this creature and they were like, all right, you are ours now, your family. We're going to teach you to read, to write. Like, what in the world?
It's just their buddy. So it got to the point that full conversations could be had with the creature. And the creature told the family his name was Gef, spelled Gef.
For all they know, this is like a homeless man who like got stuck under their
that growls.
I don't know.
So Gef was born on August 7th, 1852, he told the family, in Delhi, India. So he would be about 80. He told the family he was a mongoose. When they asked, why could you speak? He replied, quote, because I'm an extra clever mongoose. Now that sounds kind of cute, right?
Aw.
But other quotes from Gef are, I'm the ghost in the form of a weasel and I shall haunt you.
Aw.
So the family didn't know what to make of this. Was this a ghost, a hoax, or a mongoose? The family saw a few glimpses of Gef, but Vori was the only one that was allowed to fully see him. She described him as a light yellow in color, about 6 inches long, with a 6-inch tail, with very large hands.
Like human hands?
Yes.
No. Wait, so who was able to see him?
Vori, the daughter.
And she was how old? 11?
13.
13. Oh, wow. She was making shit up.
But other people could hear him. So Gef did seem to protect the house. He would tell the family if someone was coming, but he would also knock things over. He'd call James all kinds of names. He'd call him a bastard. So, of course, the family invited Gef to live with them.
So it was like a love-hate relationship.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, the homeless man, as you say. Gef still wouldn't fully show himself to James or his wife. He said, I'm a freak. I have hands and I have feet. If you saw me, you would faint. You'd be petrified, mummified, turned into stone, a pillar of salt. Luckily, Gef could also become invisible anytime he wanted. James, the dad, was quoted saying, it announces its presence by calling either myself or my wife by our Christian names. Like their first names. So,
this is quite the Weasley goose.
Right?
Quite
Or an
the
ape.
Weasley goose.
So the family would try to whisper, and up to 20 feet away, Gef would ask, why are they whispering? And then they'd say, he would repeat back like what they just said. If they were like, hey, Jeff's over there. Gef would be like, why are you whispering? You just said Jeff's over there.
What in the world?
So,
Wait, so is this a true story? I feel like this is all made up. A weasel with the human hands and feet who can talk?
It's
and
Gef the talking mongoose.
The family that just accepted him for who he was? Like, no.
That's what family is. Accepting people for who they are.
Ohana.
So Gef would help around the house by bringing back rabbits for the family to eat. In return, the family would leave food for Gef on a plate in the rafters. He really liked bacon, bananas, and milk, which he would eat when no one was looking. Gef would shut off the stove if someone forgot, but he would berate James, and he would start pelting Margaret with rocks.
I love you. Just kidding. Like, what?
Gef would also hitch rides on local buses to go to other farms, and he'd get all kinds of gossip while he was on the farm, or he was on the bus and come back to the family and tell them.
What? I don't even know what to say. This is... He waited at the bus
He'd
stop.
be like, hey, did you see Susan's new shoes?
So he just waited at the bus stop. No one saw him. Oh, he turned invisible.
Whenever he wants, yeah.
And he just like used his fingers to get up the steps. I just don't get it. What?
He still had feet, he said. So word of this mongoose spread to Britain, where Harry Price, who was a psychic researcher. Have you ever heard of Harry Price? He was like really famous, like back when Houdini and like there was this huge craze with like supernatural Ouija boards. Like everyone did that for fun, but he was famous for going around and finding out like, oh, this isn't true or it is true.
I never heard of him.
He is really, really famous though.
Okay. So did the mongoose keep like a planner? Like to this day I'm going to go to this farm that day. And like, did he have a bus schedule? Like, how
I'm not sure. I don't even think he had to
going?
pay. I think he just jumped on and went where he went.
That's messed up.
But so Price, who was notorious for getting to the bottom of it either way, made a plan to go out to the farm because he heard about it. Gef made it clear that he did not like Price before he got there. Harry Price even wrote a book about this, titled The Haunting of Cashen's Gap, about the time he spent investigating. He concluded he did think it was a hoax, but he didn't have enough evidence to definitively say either way. Gef was heard, but not seen, by many different investigators, leading them to believe that maybe the wood paneling inside the stone exterior and that space that it left might work as like acoustics, if that makes sense. Like you could be in one room and kind of make it sound like it was coming from the other room. And Gef did not take well to guess. He would throw cans at people when they came towards the house, or he'd move the furniture around with unseen hands. Gef would sometimes be cordial, and if he was, some guests had him guess what was in the bags and envelopes, and Gef always got it right. Some investigators had the family try to capture a picture, which there are some online, if you want to look it up. It's like a furry thing on top of a fence.
It could have just been a weasel.
I don't know. But the family also made plasters of Jeff's paw prints, and a museum said it could not be identified as any known animal.
Probably because it was Beth's, or the girl. What was her name? Lucy?
Vori?
Vori. It was probably Vori's hands.
The only problem I have with it is there's like 4 paws and they're all different sizes. You can look it up online after. The family also got a sample of Jeff's hair and sent it in. That was the family, that matched with the fur of the family dog. So that part was debunked. Some argue the family did this all for money, but the family lost a good chunk when selling the house. It was a known haunted house, so they had to offer it at a big discount to even get a buyer. In 1945, the family sold the farm to Leslie Graham, who trapped and killed a mongoose-looking creature with black and white fur, but Vori said that couldn't possibly be Gef because the color pattern. So was Gef a ghost of a mongoose? Nandor Fedora, a Hungarian journalist and psychoanalyst, brought up a question: is it a poltergeist? Poltergeists are known for being around teenagers, being violent, causing chaos, just like Gef was doing. Or could it have been a hoax? The echo in the wall? Were they bored because they're like a mile away from everyone else? A local newspaper said, I have no doubt it was Vori.
Yeah, I think it was the teenage daughter, if you ask me.
That's what you think? Vori never wavered from her original accounts, and when interviewed 30 years later, she maintained Gef was real up to when she passed away in 2005. In 2012, the University of Zurich did a study which found mongoose?
Mongooses.
That's what I was wondering. What's mongoose? Mongooses. Mongs can make monosyllabic complex vowel strings. So basically they can form words like humans can.
Shut the hell up.
So maybe Gef was real and maybe he hitched a ride somewhere else.
Okay, but they can't say full-on sentences and have full-on conversations with people.
Gef did.
And that's what Vori is saying he did. Very.
So Vori, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but maybe she did it out of boredom. Maybe it was real. Maybe it was a poltergeist. Maybe it was a ghost.
I think she was bored.
And that's the story of Gef the Talking Mongoose.
I don't know. I think it's a hoax. I think that was Vori just bored.
Then who was chucking the cans and rocks at her mother? I can't believe he was like all sweet.
Probably Vori, who got pissed off and was like, I'm gonna get her. Maybe she had like personality disorder and she turned into a mongoose by night and a Vori by day. I don't know. I mean, I just, even if it was a haunted man from India, like, how did he come here?
Well, he was a haunted mongoose from India.
So he hitched a plane ride over?
He can go invisible. Why not?
I just don't get it. Like, did he, like, how did a mongoose figure all this out? Like, I need a plane ticket.
He was an extra clever mongoose.
An extra clever mongoose. I just don't get it. Like, where did he get a bus schedule? How did he know how to get back home? There's just so many questions.
He could read in the dark. That was another thing I didn't tell you.
Oh,
he used to go in and read the newspaper in the dark. So,
but how did they know that? Like, who witnessed this? Vori? She was throwing cans at her mom. Like, how is she a trustworthy source? Oh no.
No, you don't. You think it was all a hoax
at all?
Well, when we're done, I want you to go online and just look at the pictures that they have, because they have one of like 3 fingers coming out from behind the wall. They have one on a fence that has a mongoose, and then it has his paw prints on there. And if you can get your hands on it, Harry Price's book, I would love to read one day about his time investigating in there. And everyone said it was fantastic. I haven't gotten a copy of it yet, though.
Is that a new... Wait, so what year did this take place?
1931.
Oh, so
32 he started talking.
Was that black and...
What?
Took him a year to learn the language. Was that black and white pictures?
He was meowing and barking until then. Was it black and white pictures?
Yeah,
what do you mean, in
30s?
books? Yeah.
Okay.
I think. Because I think the photos I've seen were only black and white.
So Gef the Mongoose from India.
Gef the Talking Mongoose.
All right. Did he have an accent or?
I don't know.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening.
If you have a story you'd like us to share, email us at ouchwasthataghost@yahoo.com.
Don't forget to follow our Facebook page, Ouch, Was That a Ghost?